au Jukebox du Paranormal.
Hey, hi, folks! Welcome to Jukebox of Paranormal. So, as you can see, I'm Karine Lumiere, and I'm the host for this episode 9 that we're going to talk about, the mystic, enigmatic world of the invisible. So, everything that people witnesses, because there are some people are medium or wayseer, and they witnesses a lot of different things in that invisible world, and I'm going to try with you to explain, step by step, and different types of entities and everything that it exists. It's not because we cannot see it that it doesn't exist. So this is what we're going to do today. So I'm Karine Lumiere. I'm also a wayseer, and I like to do podcasts, and I am also work as a light worker for 35 years minimum, I would say. And I'm just here because I have a passion to share those information, and there's a lot of people that asking for that type of information. And you know this podcast is there for that. So if you have any kind of question, please feel free. I have a nice I'm gonna take the time at the end to answer all your question. And yeah, so we're gonna have this nice PowerPoint. Yes, I built you a nice PowerPoint for you. So this is what I'm going to share right now. Here we go. Bear with me, people. Okay. So here we go. Yeah, will be nice. Uh, we start with the slide number 1. How about that? Here you go. So, the invisible world and how to build your energetic shield. This is one of the most common things, that I heard. It's nice, Karen. There's something invisible. There, nice energy entities and not so nice energy entities. So, what can I do? And this is how I'm going to explain to you. But first of all, the thing that is really, really important is to understand, what it is. Okay. So, of course, when we talk about entities, the first, image that we had in our head is ghost. As you can see with this nice movie with Patrick Swayze, so many girl and so many people dream about that. But yes, ghost. Just for your information, is not an. It's a kind of an entities, but is the how can I say the soul of a person that is not finally pass through to the other dimension, heaven. Call it when what you want is the same thing, okay? So I don't like to say they are trapped because there's a lot of them choose to stay because they have some business, to understand or to a message to pass. And there's a lot of people that they don't know how to go there. And this is what we experience. It could be attached to emotional link that could be about their death or the life that they feel that they are trapped forever, even in afterlife, in a place, a house, or an environment XYZ. So of course ghost, this is the first thing that the people start to see as a wayseer or as a medium. um, I want to share that there's 3 type of people that can feel, okay, the invisible world. So they have the clear hearing, okay. Clear hearing, they're gonna hear voices. And I know that some people say, yeah, but it's a mental illness. Yes and no. It's mean that even neuroscience explained that yes, there are some people that are able to hear some voices that it can be here in instruments that some ghost hunter have. And yes, with those instruments, they were able to prove that no, you're not insane. You really hear, those voices from ghosts or other entities. There are also the clear seers, so people that are able to see the invisible. Usually, when you see, you don't hear. And there's the clear feeler. Okay, so there's this type of people that are a really high level empath and are able to feel something when they enter to a room. And if something's gonna go near of their field, they're going to be able to feel it. It could be an entities, it could be a portal, it could be um another type of energy that come from earth. So, and they are able to feel that type of energy. So this is the three type of people. So of course, for people that are able to see, to hear, and to feel, the first experience is about a ghost. So here we go. We're going to go to the other type of entities. That is the demonic entities. So this one, trust me, Hollywood likes to do a lot of money on that type of entities. Um, it exists a lot of different demonic form, folks. I think that we all agree about it. However, as a clear seer, as a way seer, kind of a dark shadow with two red eyes are the most common form of seeing it. So the kind of the picture that you see. And when you see that, you know that you are from a demonic entities. Now, what is a demonic entities? They say there's a lot of people that say, well, it's an entities that made a pact with the devil and he's trapped in hell, and sometimes they come up here on earth, to scare people, blah blah blah. And I will say yes and no. There's also another form for demonic entities, and this form, it's um it's a form of they consciously decide to not reconnect with light or with God, okay, or the source of the universe. Call it what it is. I'm sure one day we're all gonna know what it is. What is his real name? I should say. But this demonic form of decide to not reconnect, it's mean that if it's not reconnect, they needs, you know, a certain form of energy in order to keep his form in the astral world. And what what they have to do, in fact, is to vampirize the energetic from people like us, okay, that they don't know, they are not aware, and or they don't even think that such thing could exist in invisible world. But yes, it exists, unfortunately. So that you decide to not connect, it's mean also that some of them can decide to reconnect, and they will not be longer be a demonic entities, but they will be more kind of um, angelic, or as I can say, you know uh, um, divine entities. Okay. So, and how they come here, those entity, those demonic. So, from many experts, okay, and I would love for you to Google Jessie Zebotar. So she's really a mentor for me, and a lot, for people to understand how it is in the other side. And the Sephora here that you can see, it's also, the hierarchy of the angel, but we're living in duality, folks. It's mean that there's always the other side of the mirror, okay? So it's mean that the Sephora, it's angelic, and demonic. It's mean that the same Sephora have two guide, and you choose which guide is going to open the door. So is it going to be the angel or is going to be the demon? And this is the same tool that both sides use for information. This is what Jesse really explained. But if you want to know more detail about it, I strongly suggesting you to go to her YouTube channel. She's incredible and she really take the time to explain how it works in the hierarchy. Me, I'm just making, just a little small explanation that yes, it exists doors that we call portal, and those portal, it's a door, from the astral world to come here, with the living, with us, folks. And this nice portal, it means that we can have access, to those entity slash energy. Yes, my dear folks, we need to understand how it works, and we need to understand that it's not everybody that are able to play with that. But just to inform you that this is something that exists. Okay, and we're gonna go to the astral. More astral entities. So, what it is astral? I just want to take the time to share that with you. So the astral is really the invisible world that it's not ascend to another dimension. Okay, so that is really the transition. And some people will say is the 4D. I would say no, folks, it's not the 4D. It's between the 3 and the 4D, the astral world. It means that you need to think about a balloon and helium. Okay, so more helium is in the balloon and more it would float, right? Well, it's the same thing of those world. More frequency that you have, and more able you can go higher in dimension. Okay, so that's our goal. That's our mission here. To raise our frequency to be able to be aware of our free will and become sovereign, and to free ourselves from all those structure and world that they had been created to slave us. But we don't we, we can decide that we don't want to play that game, right? It's a game. So the astral entity, so there's a two level in astral. So they have the low astral, and it's more demonic entities, and there's the high astral, and it's more a kind of ascendant master or guide also. And that they are in process of ascending. Okay, so but those one, you see those little bugger. So there's a tons of different entity that like to, I would say, take our vampirize our energy. So the one that you see here is a reptilian. Okay, and but it exists other. There are some gray, there will say some mantis, and I know people, you're not gonna like me, but there it exists more than 60 races in Pleiades, and there's some really nice and there's some not really nice. And yes, there's also nice looking entities that can vampirize our energy, as I said. So as you can see, you see that there's kind of a circle. So the circle is the field of every of your chakra. Okay. So, and every of your chakra, it means that it's give a protection that we call the aura, the shield. Okay. When we balance, a certain type of chakra, okay, it means that the color become white because it means that you assimilate, that energy. And the energy that it suits us well, that we really connect, if we are more in love connection, so our aura will be more pink or more green. Okay, because this is the two color of the chakra, the heart chakra. But it can also a person that's really down to earth and really the earth element and garden, probably not her chakra is going to be more fuchsia, red fuchsia, because this is something that she really likes, that she identify herself, with that energy field, with that color energy. However, when we're not balancing, or we have some difficulty, with the life lesson to learn from a chakra, it creates a hole. And this hole, it creates to the entities, that, I'm going to go back so you're going to see bigger. So it creates a hole, and this hole, it's a kind of a thread that the entity will be able to infiltrate your aura and connect directly to your chakra to vampirize your energy. I would say that right now, 2021, I'm going to share with you the most common one, and that people, some ways here will see. So there's the root chakra, of course. And the root chakra, it's mean that we pass less time in nature and to reconnect, with our roots, with who we are, and to really disconnect to this world. There are also, folks, the sacred chakra, the second one. So, with everything that we know occurring with the unhealthy sexuality that people will practice, okay, and of course, everything that some people will saw about magic sexuality and everything, that it's really unhealthy. So this is one of the practice, and why the second, they love the second one, I'm going to tell you, because the creation, the energy of creation, it's all start, with the second the second chakra. So it's really, really quick and easy to take some energy, and to for those entities to be fed. Okay, you need to know, no energy, they're gonna become nothing. They will disintegrate in the astral world. So that's why they need to vampirize our energy. They also have, the third chakra, that is ego, mental, personality. There's a lot of misinformation about our ego. It's going to be for another podcast, folks. But I just want to share that is our form of expression. And when we not accepting our form of expression, this is a weakness that they like to feed, or when you have too much. I think that you understand, okay? And there's also the throat chakra. So a lot of people will have some difficulty to speak, or to put her idea, to express them yourself with clarity and transparency. And you need to know that when we don't say what we think, it's created disharmony. And that's why, in this world, that it's more important to show, than to be. Of course, you can understand the disharmony between. And this is really the kind of weaknesses that those entities like to enter and to feed. Okay. So some people will say, but what can I do? There's a lot of things you can do by yourself, by the way, but I'm going to explain it later. Okay. So here we go for the other one. Okay. So slide. So as you can see, you can feel it in a shadow. And as for this one, it's a kind of ego, or heart connection that they will take directly to your field. And with that, they are able to vampirize your energy. Okay. And why I said, whoop, I'm sorry, folks. That is another thing that people don't know. Okay, it's a Jovian mark or seal. Okay, so our soul came from, the higher astral world. If you want to understand the higher astral one, I strongly suggesting you to watch the movie Nosso Lar, or Our Home. Really, really easy, folks, to find it on Odyssey or BitChute. okay, or Rumble, maybe Rumble too. And it's mean that you know the the higher, high level Draco that we call archons. So they're able to trap us on Earth to slave us. Yeah. So, and the slaving is karma. Yes, that we had no choice to escape the karma and must reincarnate over and over and over. Okay. But when we are over there, okay, the karma master that you will choose what type of experience you make, kind of, okay, if I transmute this usually is three, I'm gonna get out of the karma and I'm gonna become sovereign. And we call that the Jovian marks or seals. Okay. Usually it's a kind of little, it looks like, a kind of a cookie, or a clay cookie, and that are here in our front head, or some in really specific energy point, and the Jovian seals, as you can see. So this one is rune, but folks, bear with me, okay? A Wessier will barely see the sign on those kind of cookie, okay? I just give you that image for you to understand. There's something written, but almost of the people cannot see what it is. But the thing is, when when you make when you choose something, you decide something, and on the contract you didn't see the small, scripts. Well, let me tell you what is the small script. They don't tell you that you will forget everything as soon as you're gonna pass the veil of forgiveness to reincarnate on earth, okay, or incarnate on earth. So it's a nice way to trap us, all the time, all the time, all the time, all the time. But your free will is way more powerful than the contract, and you can revoke the contract, as often as you want. So you can visualize and choose that you revoke that little script, a contract, and that you are free to experiment everything that you want to experiment in order for your soul, to understand and to experiment something beautiful called love, called joy, called empathy, called compassion. Because yes, it exists in this world. I know it sounds weird in this crazy time, but yes, it still exists. It just us decide to choose which experience we want to choose. So the Jovian marks, this is something that you can consciously decide to broke and to say, no, I'm connected to God, I'm gonna connected to the light. This is what they ask me to choose, but this is not what I choose anymore, and I want to be fully reconnect, with, as you say, source, universe, God. Okay. So this is really important. Okay. And of course, in the invisible world, it's impossible to not talking about implant. So bear with me, folks. Okay. There's no image. And I will tell you why there's no image on implants. Because implant is something that is really sensitive, and just thinking that you can be scared of it can create implant in your field. Okay. And the last, I would say, 2 3 years, there is a new implant device applied every weeks, every 2 weeks. It's really, it's rare. It's hard to keep up. Okay, to be honest. Okay, so the only thing that you need to remember, folks, is this is a device not only to vampirize your energy, but to destabilize your energetic field, that is your aura and your chakra, to limit it or to stop your connection with the source God, limit your access to your true self. People will say, I am. People will say a superior I am, the same thing. And multidimensionality, yes, people, we are time traveler, because time and space, it's an illusion. And where we are truly connected with our I am, we are connecting in etheric level, and we are free to go wherever we want. Okay. It's limit also our access to 4D, 5D connection, that is etheric plan and etheric world, and keep you a stage or slave to the matrix and the astral world. Okay, astral world. I like to say there's a nice story, Alice in Wonderland, huh? Described pretty good, astral world. It's a man, a nice image, things, but I think that you understand, okay? It's looking through, going to the other side of the mirror, as I can say. Okay? So, but don't get me wrong, is the same kind of level, but in different perspective, point of view. Okay, two different worlds, but that coexist at the same time here. The visible, that we can touch, feel with our five sense, and the invisible world also. Okay, so the implant. Okay, there's some people that can remove it, the seer or medium, or people that are really good with regressive session. They are able to do it, but you can also do it yourself, just with the power of your free will. And now, this is really important what I'm going to share with you folks. Okay, the free will is the law number one of the universe. Okay, nothing can go against your free will. Demon can't do it, entities can do it, another human being can't do it. You are the one who's choose. You are the creator of your own reality here. And you here to experience and creating, what you want to experiment. And the free will, it's mean that when you're gonna understand that Earth is the last planet, that the people are not aware who they are as, high level energetic people that are here to consciously reconnect with love and God, because this is what it is, to experiment the duality, and the free will is to choose it. Okay, and when you truly reconnect, with that dimension, with God, source, universe, nothing can take your energy, nothing can slave you, and nothing can tell you what to do, what not to do. And this is how it is a free person, is the capacity to choose. This is the definition of liberty anyway, folks. Capacity to choose. Okay? And to experiment the free will. So it's mean that even if there's an entity that try to vampirize your energy or something, it could be a person, you can say, no, I'm not allowed you to do that, because this is belong to me, and I'm not sharing my energy. I'm sharing who I am, but not my energy. It's belong to me. And I think, folks, that in this rough time with Schumann's frequency, I and up, the energy level of everybody are kind of low. We don't need another sucker to take it because we want it for us. Okay, it's the same thing with an implant. The key the key for that, okay, and there's a lot of spirituality law, but also religion, including Christian, that said that nothing can't beat God, can beat your faith. What it's mean faith, it's being convinced that whatever is going to happen, you are untouchable because you are protected, and you are protected from love, from love, from light, God, call it, call it honey if you want. When you pray, he loves it anyway. Everything's fine. Okay, being convinced truly, deeply in all your cells. Okay, the minimum quantic, little things that exist, like photon, being convinced that you are connected and nothing can do whatever you don't want to. Okay, so being convinced, it's another way to say faith, right? And of course faith including God, so, or the source, so, you know keep it the word that you like. Okay, so it's the same thing. So it means, and I'm going to continue my slideshow. Okay, it means that frequencies are the key. And when I say the key, okay, even in quantic physics, they were able, folks, to explain that. They were able to measure your energy field. They are able to see your energetic field, but they are able also to explain to you what type of frequency, okay, that are really helpful for human. So for information, the seventh level of frequency and on Earth, okay. So you're just thinking about the defragmentation of the light, with infrared, ultra blue, gamma, etc. Sorry, I should write it and I didn't. It just popped up right now. But and it's mean that those frequency are, as I can say, every chakra has a kind of hertz, you know, sounds frequency. Yes, because sounds is frequency, it's not only light. Okay. I know there's a lot of people are aware about, I would say the 532 hertz, 528 hertz, and the 760 hertz. So in that, you can go easily on YouTube and to choose, okay, I want to balance, reconnect with my heart chakra with a certain type of hertz. They will have it there. Okay. So it means that you are able with the sound to biotune your energetic field. And it's the same thing with the color. Okay, there are some people that are able to work with your chakra with the light. Okay, and yourself, you can play with that. Okay, give you an example. You feel a bit dark, and you're wearing your favorite color. How you gonna feel in 5-10 minutes when you see yourself? You're gonna feel, I feel better because I love that color. Okay, it's the same thing. And the sound and the light are also connected with an emotion. And higher the joy factor is, and higher the frequency will be. And what is the highest level of emotion? It's gratitude and joy. And more we experiment that little joy and little gratitude every day, repeating for 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, and more higher our feeling and level of happiness will be. Okay, so collection, do a nice collection of little joys or gratitude or something positive, in your day, and you will see that if you're repeating it, you're gonna raise your frequency, and this is really, really, really important. Okay, and frequencies are the key. Another time to raise our frequency will be praying. Some people will meditate. It could be dancing. Yes, folks, it's really, I think that we all know dancing help to keep our joy factor, but it can also doing something that we reconnect with nature. That could be a walk, that could be gardening, or that could be just to go to the field and pick up strawberries, that we have our two hands, connected to earth. And it's really nice. Nature, it's one of the, you don't know, you feeling low frequency, go outside. The sun's gonna make a nice work. The grass, it's going to make a nice work. Some people, if you can go in front of the ocean or a lake, in the water, it's help a lot too. Nature will always be the most quickest way to raise your energy. And also, um, our our social, bubble. Uh, when I say kids, hugging a kids, or just doing a little things and nice attention to someone we love, and just to exchange heart to heart, with someone else, another human being. Yes, I know, with this time it's kind of hard to have a connection, human to human, but yes, it still exists. Okay. And just to clean, just to really take the time that, oh, I'm going to talk to my mom, or I'm going to talk to a friend, or it could be your sibling, it could be your neighbor, but to have a heart to heart connection. This is the key. Okay. So the other slide here, heart coherence. Folks, I talked to you about connecting heart to heart. Well, on quantic physics, it explained that there is two sources of energy in our body. Okay, this is really simple, folks. Bear with me. First one, it's the brain. The brain is electric energy. Okay, it creates that and connected with our nerve system. I think that you understand. However, the heart is also generate energy that we said magnetic energy. And the heart will have twice activity per second than the brain. That's the thing we didn't know before, but now we know. Okay. And because of this higher activity per second per minute, they are able, of course, to generate a bigger biofield that we call heart coherence. And this heart level, the magnetism, okay, it's like a magnet. Uh, it's mean that when we center our life, in our heart, and base all our decision from our heart, it's mean that the magnet is becoming, more efficient. And when I say more efficient, imagine it's 10 times. So imagine if you maintain it, and that everything, that you base, it's with our heart. So it's mean that the biofield, it's becoming higher, bigger and bigger. And some people will say the law of attraction. Okay. Me, I prefer to say, the magnetism means that you are able to attract things, event, and people that will suit, your frequency, right? Takes nice people to attract beautiful people. So when you say to a person, "Oh, you're such a kind of person, I'm really blessed that you are in my life," it's mean that you are also a nice person, and that you can also be a wonderful, you know, um, contribution to another human being. Okay, but the heart currents, okay, folks, the heart currents you see here. So when people in mutual love, mutual respect, they will be able to connect. You see the kind of the link, heart to heart, the white link, we call that a connection. Okay. And this connection, it will contribute, it will nourish, the biofield of one of another, and become one, in quantic physics. And what's happened when we become one? Okay, folks. And it's mean that we can co-create. It's mean that both people, we all agree to create something together. Okay, that could be a nice conversation, but that could be also a project. And I'm sure, folks, that everybody here has a nice connection with, sometimes, a perfect stranger, but that it flows so nice, the reception is so nice, you have the feeling that you know that person for many 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 years. This is what it is. It's heart connection. Okay. And in quantic physics, it's gonna create more connection in your brain. It's gonna connect more connection in your nerve system, and it's gonna create more activities, and more photonic activities, in all your body. And photon is the key. Okay. And it means that if we are if the photon activity is in our body, we are just a mini 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 universe on 2 feet, that we can share that universe to another human being. Okay. And this is the key. Okay, if you want to maintain your level of frequency connection. So why do you think the system wants to broke us, to divide us, to lock down everybody? Is they want to avoid that, of course. And the other thing is to be able to share. So if we're not able to share who we are, it's kind of impossible to put our frequency higher and higher. Okay. um it could be also a book of gratitude, it could be praying, it could be any type of activities that give you a joy factor. Okay, so this is what you have to do to create joy in your life. Okay, so, and with that, okay, whoops, no, with here here we go. I'm gonna go to the question, because there's a lot of question that a lot of people will ask on social media or to people, and I want to take the time. This is the most common one. So, how an entities choose me to vampirize? Wow, this is really simple, people. Okay, there's a lot of people think that if an entity decide to vampirize my energies because I'm a bad person. Ah, wrong answer. If they vampirize you, it's because you are a very lightful and good person. You just don't know it, and you're not aware of it, or you don't want to see it. Okay? Because when you're gonna realizing it, how much beautiful you are, how powerful you are, how awesome you are, and our unique image of God, little soul person, human being, no entities will be able to connect with you. And I'm going to tell you why. Okay. Think about a toaster. Okay. When you put the toaster on 110 volt, it's going to work. This is how entity does. When we are low energy, our level of volt are not too much and are able to connect. But if our light, it's so there, okay, it means that we're becoming 220 volt or 760 volt. What happened with the toaster when they connect, to a higher volt? Well, it tilted and it broke. So that's why the entity don't do that. They're never, around joyful and, pleasant people and kind people, because they're not able, it's too much. They know they're going to kill themselves, and they can die in the astral world too much. So it means that, but you need to be aware of it. You need to be truly convinced. you know every human being on earth are wonderful, even the mean one. It's just they don't know yet. They choose an experience to be mean and to be really as evil as you're thinking. But the day that they will realize that, truly, they will becoming light being. Okay. So I know of people, we call that agape, to have the nice love for humanity and compassion for humanity. And don't get me wrong, everybody are human. There's some day we have love for everybody, and some day they say, "Ooh, I have no patience." We are all human. But yes, my dear. Okay, it's mean that entities cannot vampirize you if you are aware of it. Okay, other question, how to maintain my frequency. I think that I explained to you, pretty well, just to do activities that give you a wow, a joy factor. And how do I build my protection? Wow, this is a nice one. There's a lot of tool. Okay, but I would say that being aware of your free will, it's good. But there's also a powerful tool that in 2021 a lot of people forget about it. First of all, fasting. Yeah, it's when we detoxified everything, it's mean that we clean our body and it's really effective. Prayer, it's also really effective. And some nice, wisely high frequency word, because every word has a frequency, folks, that all together create a kind of a key, okay, that help you to keep our, you know, frequency high, like the Bible or the Torah or other, you know, God's um, God's inspired word. I would say it's helped a lot too. Okay, and of course, as Christian, they will be the Bible. But for other religion, if they practice it, even for Christian, right, you need to practice it with your heart. But if you practice it with your heart, the tool that's around you, it's built for that, and it's going to help you to keep your frequency and to avoid those kind of uh, it will avoid those kind of attack. It's going to help you to be protected. And of course, the most powerful shield in the world, it's love. And I think that everybody are aware of that. You just need to find a way to take the time, to say, oh, this is love. Or I'm going to do it because I love you, or I love somebody, or I love a coworker, just to be aware. It's a kind of, post it reminder every time, but more we're doing it and more it's become naturally. Okay. And another question, what can I do when I have an attack? Oh, okay. So I know, folks, there's a lot of people that are scared to death to have or to receive an energetic attack. Okay, because this is true. Okay, this is really true. Okay, um, I will suggesting you that having your 2 feet on the grass directly on the earth for 15 minutes, you know, this kind of bad energy is gonna go directly to the earth. You just need to think, about the thunder when there's too much pressure, okay, too much, activities, in the sky. They need to ground. Well, our body is also a kind of, thunder. When there's too much, we need to ground ourselves and to eliminate the excess. Okay. So, yes, grounding is an excellent way. The other thing also is a prayer. Never low estimate the power of the prayer. You don't have enough for yourself, ask other. Okay? There's a lot of people that they will have to pray for them, and there's a lot of people that they love to do that for other. Okay? And there's people that they will sing kind of mantra, okay, or some song that they will soothe them. It's really excellent too. There are some people that they like to have, to read the Bible or to have it on them, kind of a protection, and, to do the prayer in their head until, the kind of panic mode, let go, of course. And you can also ask people to help you. There's a lot of people that can help you also. And but I need to tell you something. More you convince, more you have faith, and less or none it's gonna happening. Attack always come when we are in fear, you know, state of mind. What's going on right now? I think that you understand that for them, as Jupiter ascendants, it's harvesting time for those entities with the fear around, on world in this world right now. So we need to stop to feed them. And why they do that? Because there are too much people are awake, and it's mean that they have less energy available in astral world, and it's mean that it needs to create a panic for them to survive. So do you understand how, the panic level right now to do that kind of things? Okay, because they need to survive. So I think that you kind of understand. And I think I have a last question for you folks. What can I do to avoid entities and implant? Okay. Yes, as I explained to you, meditation. There's a lot of energetic cleaning meditation that help you to visualize, you know, how to clean your body, and also, um, and there's some people that they will kind of do a regressive healing treatment. But if you want to do it yourself, just to have the habits to, I clean myself, I not allowed those entities to take my energy, and they needs to cut the connection, and I tell them to remove all the implant that they put it in order to vampirize my energy and to leave. You can visualize a kind of um Doctor Strange kind of opening door and say, "Ah, you're gonna go there, bye bye," and you close the door and it's all gone. Okay, visualization is more powerful than you think. Okay, and in your prayer, you can also ask. I'm not gonna say angel or whatever, but I will say, if you feel more comfortable with Jesus or God, remove me everything because I need it. It's gonna help you. It could be another name. I know we are in 2021 and there's a lot of trauma with the word Jesus or God, or, kind of trauma, in neuroprogrammations happening in, the last couple of years. People prefer to say universe or the source. It's okay as long that you are aware, who he is. Okay, and for other culture it's other name, it suits well too as well. I just want to be more generalistic as possible because this kind of explanation, it's everywhere, it's just different world from different culture. I think that you understand that. Okay, so let me see if I have other question. Oh yeah, I'm a Christian. Oh, that's another one. I'm a Christian and I'm not supposed to believe in energetic field, etc. Oh, I had a lot of there's a lot of people, ask that on social media. I just want to share with you one thing. Jesus in that time speak Aramean, and Christ in his language means light. So just just one plus one equal two. Okay. So if Christ mean light, it's mean that it was aware of the light already. It was aware of the connection. It was aware of the invisible world. And it try in many word circumstances, to explain it in simple basic stories and word for us to understand at that time. And this is really, really important to reconnect with those words and to try to understand that yes, we this is the main key, the main message. When you reconnect, you become sovereign and you are aware of your free will and you're not slave anymore and you become free. This is the main message that A lot of people try to explain to us in many ways, and their energetic field and quantic physics they were able to understand and to explain. The same thing with neuroscience. So how our brains and you know all the experiences that people think that they were mental illness, but in fact it's not. It's just experience that some people have the ability to experiment, and it's not because it's more weird or unusual. I would say more unusual, okay, that it's a mental illness, okay? There's a lot of different being aware of the invisible world and being delusional, okay? Two different things, okay? So, and with that, even neuroscience were able to explain those type of experience that human being, and it will be and even in 2021 there's like Dr. Pearl that explain how to reconnect and you can heal yourself and heal other. The same thing as the visualization with that if you visualize that you are healing one by one, you are able to create that in your life. It exists. There's doctor that are able to dispenser. Yeah, it just I have a blank. Yeah, so that explain and his story is just incredible. And there's many other doctor and that are able to explain that and they never deny, and I'm telling you, they never deny, the level of faith. And they always say, the reconnection. It's really, really important in that process because it is. So, different word to explain the same thing. Okay. We are not in new wave era in the 60s, 70s anymore. This is more of the knowledge of new paradigm, the new era, and that even science are able to explain it. And there's a lot of whistleblower that they try to explain it, that it could be with people that have conversation with other being from other planet or galaxy or whatever, and they all share this, they all say the same thing. We need to go higher in frequency because yes, it exists. The world that they're not slave like us, it exists and it's beautiful. So, and we are able to achieve that, but to achieve that we need to be aware of it. Okay, so I just want to see in the chat here if we have some question. So do you think that I have some question here? So I'm just trying to figure it out on YouTube. Okay. Uh, I would say no, I don't see any question. Okay. Just 1 minute, folks. I'm just trying. It's my first time here. No, I don't see any question. Okay. Just 1 minute, folks. I'm just trying. It's my first time. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. So I'm gonna stop sharing, here. Stop sharing. And I'm more with you folks. Here we go. 1 hour. I think I'm done. I think that, I just go, you know, just to try to explain, the entities and plants and Giovian markers or seals. This is the common things that we see, that can affect us in our daily life. And if you have some question, feel free. I can answer anytime. And I will say I see you next Tuesday for another Jukebox of Paranormal. So I will say bye bye, folks, and see you next week.
La Jukebox Paranormal.